But I'm going from the political galaxy to a galaxy far, far away. Because actually, well, it's the woke be with you these days, not the force be with you. And Star Wars, you know, it was the one thing as a kid that brought me and my brother together pretty close, and I love it with all my heart. But ever since Disney took it over, this diversity, equity and inclusion has run rampant throughout it. And actually we've had the actress from the latest Star Wars spin-off, a series on Disney, actually saying that making white people cry was actually what she wanted to do. Have a listen.
When people watch The Hate U Give, what do you want them to walk away with? Because I know everyone has a slightly different feeling.
Well, I mean, white people crying actually was the goal.
Yeah, so that diversity, equity and inclusion running rampant throughout Hollywood and ruining really good franchises. Actually ensuring, apparently, R2-D2, the little robot, you know, that scoots about and gets on the starships and all the rest of it, apparently that could be a lesbian now. I mean, the whole thing is complete and utter absurdity. I don't know why this identity politics has to run rampant through things that we all adore and hold dear.
She's half white, this actress. This is what I don't understand. She's half Danish, then half African-American. I don't know how you could say the point of a piece of work that I've just done is to make white people cry when half of her family are white.
But this is the problem. I have skin in this game, as you know, with a mixed-race child. Nobody ever sees a mixed-race child as half white. They see them as black. And so that's probably how she views herself. But aside from that, how have we moved to a point in society where two presenters are on stage laughing, two black presenters, at making white people cry?
Ella, is there a broader point here that actually we've sort of gone full circle, where now actually we're saying, we used to say that to focus on the colour of someone's skin was rampant racism and therefore we ought to reject it. Now we're saying actually potentially the only thing that we should notice about a person is the colour of their skin.
Yeah, and it becomes very performative because actually there's no... When we're talking about diversity, equity, inclusion, whatever the abbreviation is, you know, if you want to look at inequality in the film industry or any kind of the arts industries, it's class-based.
Yeah.
It's not identity-based. And so they don't really want to have a proper conversation about inclusion. And it becomes this sort of, as you say, identity politics game. And I think the main point is that I don't really think she was actually wanting white people to be sobbing and it wasn't malicious, but it's just this silly kind of ruination of something that's meant to be entertainment and fun. I wouldn't go as far as to say Star Wars is art. I'm not.
I love Star Wars.
But you know, it's a bit like Marvel or any of these things. It's things that people really enjoy, and actually escapism that you go to get away from.
Yeah, exactly.
The news, the world, into a different story, and yet it has to follow. And I think it's just it's turning people off. There's a reason why people aren't going to the cinema.
But also, is it not? We're talking about diversion, equity and inclusion, but actually it's the complete opposite to that. It is, you know, excluding people. Yeah. It's actually dividing people. Once again, by the colour of their skin, we are teaching people to not like each other.
I mean, Benjamin, as you know, the only reason you're on this panel is because of our diversity, equity and inclusion policies. So you must be in favour of it all, are you?
Am I the token heterosexual? I'm not.
The audience is stunned at home. Wife and kids.
You know, I think that clearly she's making a joke, right? And I thought people like you were meant to say that we don't cancel comedy.
I'm not saying that she should be cancelled, but the director also said we're going to make it the most gay Star Wars yet. Why does R2-D2 have to be gay?
Well, I mean, look, I've never seen Star Wars, and beyond the very basics, I know nothing about it, and I'm not likely to turn it. The films are like 3 hours long. It's far too much like commitment for me to be able to cope.
But you do know who R2-D2 is.
That's the robot?
That little one.
Yeah. But aside from Star Wars specifically, look, I think these films, you know, they've always had these messages in them. It's nothing new. It's just that we talk about them more and maybe it's more common to have those messages. But I think that, you know, the idea that you should have diversity of that nature in films is really important because it sets a good example to lots of people that are watching them.
RP, do you agree with that?
And can I just say, why why would it make more sense to say that there should be no character who were gay or lesbian, which is obviously a relatively common characteristic in people? That it is more strange that Disney, until only a couple of years ago, had never had a character of that description in any film.
Well, that's because
why
Disney
make a
only bought it
robot
a few years
gay?
ago, but-
No, I mean, sorry, I mean
robot.
all Disney films and cartoons and TV programmes, there had never been a notably gay character, one for whom that was explicit.
But Benjamin,
years ago.
then why make
Weird.
why make a robot gay? Why not make a lead character gay and just have them falling in love with someone in the film? Like, it doesn't need to be a big thing. We've got to a point in society
you're arguing that
where
they
it's
need to not
normal.
be there.
No, I'm
That's
not.
the
I'm
reality
saying
of it.
make it
And I think that's
authentic.
peculiar.
Don't just say a robot is gay for the sake of it.
I agree.